Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Crimes Notes. Today we are going to be talking about how to solve cubic equations by graphing. So what we had just worked on was how to solve them algebraically, and we talked about how to do the easy ones, and then we talked about how to do factoring by grouping, but now I just want to remind you of the super cheater method, which is to use the graphs. So again, today we are going to be solving cubic equations graphically. By the end of today, you should be able to solve a cubic equation for one variable using a graph and the Desmos tool. And at the very end, it says, how do I determine the solution to the equation using a graph? So last class, what we had talked about was how to solve the equations algebraically. So we said, look to see if there's more than one variable. In this case, there wasn't. Use inverse operations to isolate the cube. So here we would need to do the opposite. So the opposite of multiplying by 4 would have been to divide by 4. So then on this side, 4 divided by 4 would cancel out, and we would just have x cubed. 108 divided by 4 was 27. Then once we've isolated that cube, now it's time to cube root both sides. So I would cube root the x cubed and I would cube root the 27. And then when we take the cube root of 27, we end up getting a solution of 3. Again, this is just a quick reminder of how we were solving algebraically, and I wanted you to see the answer to this question so that when we do it graphically, you know where the solution came from. So let's look at graphically. If we want to solve equations graphically, the first thing that we're going to do is go into Desmos, and then we are going to split the equation into two parts. The two parts are going to be the left side and the right side. So for equation 1, we're going to put y equals and then whatever the left side of the equation is. And then over here, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do y equals the right side. So in other words, for this one, we would put in y equals 4x cubed for one of the equations and y equals 108 for the other equation. Then once we've got the graph, we're going to find the intersection. And sometimes we may have to zoom out quite a bit before we find it and then zoom back in. And then once we have the intersection or the ordered pair of the intersection, then we are going to use the x coordinate. And that will be the solution. So let's go ahead and go into Desmos and we're going to graph these. I'm going to copy the whole thing, Control C. Then I'm going to go into Desmos. And as I'm putting it in, and when I hit Control V, notice it's going to give me something that it can't really read. So what I'm going to do is go in here. And remember, we're supposed to do y equals the left side, which was 4x cubed. So again, I'm going to put in the 3. And remember, if you don't want to do the shift up, you can always go down here. And you can hit this A to B button, and that'll give you where you can type in the exponent. Okay. So again, 4x cubed, there's the first part of our graph, and then the second part is supposed to be y equals 108. Now, mine does happen to already be super zoomed out, so whatever I was looking at probably turned out that way. But what we want to do is, just so I can show you guys what it looks like, I'm going to tell it to go back home. So initially, if you had graphed 4x cubed and y equals 108, this is what it would look like. And if you notice, I only see one graph. And according to what it's labeled, I see the green graph, which is this y equals 4x cubed. So we need to see this purple one. But if you notice, it's all the way at y equals 108. So what I'm going to do is sit here and zoom out, which is this little button over here. So I'm going to zoom out and keep zooming out until I find the other line. And there it is. So now once I know where it is, then I can start to zoom back in, but then grabbing the screen and scrolling up so that I can see where it intersects. And then I could still zoom back in if I wanted to. Okay. So then I could click here and it's going to give me that intersection. Now in this case, it kind of looks like it's two perpendicular lines, but so this would be what we would grab a picture of. So I'm going to do Windows Shift S. If you have a Chromebook, remember it's Control Shift and that button by the 6. So I'm going to grab that intersection just so that we have it. And then I am going to come back to my slides and I'm going to paste that right here on my slides. So now we found the intersection and it says the solution is the x coordinate. So here the solution is 3, 108. In other words, that's the intersection point, but the answer to the equation is just x equals 3. Now you should know, remember that's what we got whenever we solved this algebraically. We got x equals 3 in the first place, but sometimes finding the intersection is a little bit easier. So let's look at one more. Again, we want to graph this, and I'm going to try to copy and paste it in like I did last time. Let's see how it works. Maybe I'll just make this bigger so you can see everything. I may regret this in a minute, but for now. All right, so again, I copied it in, and then remember I'm going to do y equals, and then there's the left side. And then I'm going to take this part out and make that one my second one. So y equals. So this was the left side of the equation. And again, let me show it to you. Remember, so 12x cubed plus 4x squared, y equals that. And then this was the right side of the equation. And so when we typed those in, and I'm going to press the home key since I had something really wonky. Oh, and there we see it. So here, this is not the intersection of the two graphs, so be very careful. A lot of the times it is actually going to tell you the y-intercept or the x-intercept if there is one, okay? So if we're looking for the intersection, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in just to make it look prettier, and then I'm going to click on this. Now, if you notice, this is a repeating decimal, and if it's a repeating decimal, you may actually want to change it into a fraction. So I'm going to come down here to this next line and I'm going to put in -0 point, and then I'm going to start putting the 3s since it was repeating. Now notice this fraction button that pops up. That's great, but if I hit the fraction button now, notice it gives me this big ugly fraction, and we know that's not correct. So I'm not going to hit it now. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to keep pushing 3s, and that fraction button's going to go away. And then if I hit a few more, it's going to come back. And once it comes back, that's when you want to hit the fraction button. And notice it gives you a nice, round, clean fraction. So when we were looking for the intersection, we had this -0.3333, right? It's a repeating decimal, 0, which we're actually going to write as -1/3 0. Oh, wait, let me go ahead and take a picture of my graph while it's up. And go back into our slides and paste it in. Ooh, I even did a pretty nice size for that. And then I'm going to shrink-dink back down our window here so that you guys are not looking at a kabillion different things. And then what we're going to do is we are going to narrow down our solution. So remember, we just figured out that that fraction was -1/3. And so that's what we're going to put here. This was -1/3. And as soon as I hit the space bar, it automatically formats it for me. Oops, -1/3 space. And then it is 0. And so that means our solution is the x coordinate, which is -1/3. Now, I do want you to be careful. So I've left one here for you to try just to prove to me that you guys know what you are doing. But please do be careful. There is not always just one intersection. So if I put in two, let's say x squared graphs, give me a second. I'm going to put in, there's a 4x squared, and I'm going to put in y equals -1/3. 6x squared. I don't know what's really going to happen. And then let's do plus 3. So now notice that there are 2 intersection points. So this could happen. Now, granted, I did 2 squared graphs just because I knew that I could get those to intersect, but there can be more than one solution. So make sure that you're double checking that those graphs have more than one, or that they don't have more than one solution. Now, I wouldn't worry about that too much on the one that I gave you to do today, but it might pop up a little bit later. But if this were an equation that I gave you, you would need to make sure that you had both the negative 0.548 and the positive 0.548. And please note, these are not repeating decimals. 5, 4, and 8, it's not going to be 548, 548, 548. Okay, it's only if you see a repeating decimal like 0.6666667 or something like that. So anyway, that is kind of all I have for you guys today. Again, I want you guys to try this one problem. I know we've done this before, so I didn't think that you needed a significant amount of practice. I hope that you guys don't have any questions, but if you do, make sure that you ask. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.